What's up, everybody? This is Dr. J coming to you live from Northern Virginia with the My Mitchell Medicine podcast. Happy holidays to all of you, and as we move through this holiday season, a time that is associated with reflection, gratitude, connection, it is also a natural moment for us to pause and acknowledge those who shaped us. In the healing arts, our teachers are not just instructors of technique, clinical technique, martial technique. They are carriers of wisdom, responsibility, and tradition. And as you grow into a teacher, you are also a carrier of wisdom, responsibility, and tradition. Today's episode is a professional reflection on honoring our teachers and how we can learn from them, how we eventually step forward on our own, and how we can continue to carry their influence with integrity in the work we all do today. So let's get started. All right, once again, happy holidays to everyone. In this episode, we're going to talk about honoring teachers and why it matters so much in any art, especially the healing arts, because that's where I live. The healing traditions that I have received have been transmitted. They've been passed on from teacher to teacher, to teacher to teacher, to me, and then me as a teacher onward and upward. They're not invented. We transmit them, and every time they're transmitted, we try a little bit to improve them as we gain that message. We do that not because they are not as good as we would like, but because there are things that we see that our teachers were unable to, right? Or maybe they were able to, but were unable to articulate, or maybe the message we hadn't yet been able to receive at that point. Now, there are many reasons. We don't need to understand the reasons. All we need to understand is what is being transmitted, the message that is being transmitted, and how we can improve that message for the next generation. Teachers pass on this information, their knowledge, their insight, especially in a clinical setting. Right? If I'm in a classroom with students, they want to know about my experience working with patients. Whether it be patients with acupuncture, patients with Tai Chi and Qigong. What have I used? What have I done? What points have I selected that can help my patients? If I didn't have any of that knowledge, then I wouldn't be standing in front of the classroom, obviously. There are also ethical standards. We need to set the standard for that healing environment, for that classroom. We need to know where our patients are coming from, where our students are coming from, and how we can design a class, a treatment for them. In the moment, even. That requires a certain level of presence. Who do we need to be in the treatment room for patient number 1, patient number 2, patient number 3? Of course, they have names, but in that situation where we are trying to understand who we need to be, we need to also exercise a certain level of restraint. What is it that we need to demonstrate in the treatment room? What is it that we need to embody in the classroom as we're teaching a certain set of movements or an exercise? Everything that we do is transmitted, and it is also transmitted through the lineage of where we come from. So the lineage is a framework. It is a framework for responsibility. It is not a framework of authority. There is a misconception sometimes that everything that is passed on was owned by your predecessor, not by you. So you should always honor and reflect on that level of authority that exists behind you. Okay, so any teacher who understands that information, knowledge is transmitted, it is not owned by them. Right? It is owned by our Creator, because everything that we do and we create is modeled from that. I do not own a single word or piece of information that comes from my mouth or that is in my head. Nothing. And no teacher should think the same way either. regardless of how many books you have written. It is important for us to honor our teachers because that helps to ensure that we are honoring the people before us, our students, our patients, and we are protecting them. And we do that through the preservation of the medicine, through the arts of Tai Chi, of Qigong. And there comes a natural time where we are to step away from our teachers. That is not in an action of disrespect of any kind. It is a symbol of growth. Before we reach that point, though, of course, we've gone through lots and lots of rigorous training, studying long hours, preparing for examinations in the classroom, examinations that give us the entryway into the world through maybe a board exam. That early training that we receive helps to develop structure, helps us to build the foundation for everything that you will be growing from and through. That foundation is essentially formed through the help of your teachers, through close supervision, through any kind of guidance that they receive or that you receive from them. So one teacher in mind when I was going through acupuncture school, Bob Duggan, may he rest in peace, he taught us about the importance of honoring the 7 generations. This was a very important message that I received and that many of my classmates also received. The 3 generations before me were transmitting knowledge that I am now receiving in the classroom at that time, and it is my responsibility to pass on to the next 3 generations. But even more than that, I'm recognizing that every action that I take, every message that I transmit, is connected to the 7 generations, including mine. So that's an important role for me and reminds me of the importance of my message. The growth that happens after building the foundation comes through the embodiment of the knowledge that you are learning. Let's take Tai Chi and Qigong, for example. The growth that you make through learning one form and progressing to the next form, or even putting a weapon in hand, comes through you imitating what you see and embodying what you have been training for. How many bow stances, horse stances, empty stances have you done? How much postural work, how much strength and conditioning have you done? How many videos have you watched of other people doing the form that you are learning and wanting to be just as good as they are? More often do we spend time watching videos rather than watching ourselves, maybe because we feel a little too embarrassed and self-conscious. Get over it. In the process of imitation, we eventually have to reflect on ourselves. The teacher is there to guide you, of course. We will eventually step away from the classroom as we continue to improve and build our understanding of what it is that we're learning. Acupuncturists leave school and eventually start their own practices. Students of Tai Chi and Qigong eventually move on and open their own schools. Or maybe like me, they integrate both of them and bring them to the treatment room and also help to run classes. And now in my business, I'm working to train instructors because there is a deficit of instructors in the world today, especially there in the medical environment. People are not melding the two together as they naturally should. So I believe it is my responsibility to step forward regardless of what people say and help to raise the next generation of instructors to support people who are suffering in today's world. Because believe me, there are an unbelievable number of people suffering in today's society. As we step away, it is a sign of integration in the way that I am delivering the messages in the world today. I believe that I am attempting to integrate what I have learned over the years, courtesy of my teachers. It is not a sign of disrespect, regardless of what you might think. It is a necessary stage that we all need to progress through if you wish to become a teacher. It is a sign of professional maturity. The separation that happens when you go from being a student to a teacher and leave that learning environment, there's some distance that comes between, which, people say, when you're separated, you feel like you're growing apart. I forget the phrase, it's not coming to mind right now. But in a sense, that can lead to less frequent contact, obviously. There's a shift in the roles that we have, and it can feel as though we're growing apart, when in fact it is a time for one to move onward. Right? It is a time of separation. It is a natural separation, and it is a time to grieve. That's what happens. Think about the fall season with the metal element. If you've listened to previous podcasts about 5 elements, or if you've joined the recent 5-element workshop that we held at My Metro Medicine, the metal element, the autumn season, is about things letting go. The leaves falling from the trees. Finding clarity as all of that accumulation, that foliage, falls to the ground. It is a moment of grief, a moment of loss. It is not easy to watch a student walk away from a teacher. Not walk away in a bad way again, but grow apart. They have matured enough that you can actually say, the teacher can actually say, I have nothing left to teach you. There are many movements that I could show you, new ones, but the essence is not the movement itself. It's what's within the movement. So once we reach that stage, there's a certain level of fear as well in the student's part, because we don't know where to go. What do? We don't have that guidance. We never received that guidance. We just got the transmission. We got the knowledge, the information, the message. But what do we do with the message? Well, that's where we get to formulate what it is that we wish to deliver. We can continue to honor our teachers. Honoring them does not require constant presence or agreement. It is wonderful to be able to return to the watering hole from time to time, but some people are afraid to leave the watering hole for longer periods of time. Respect also shows through the thoughtful care of our students and our patients. When I am with a patient, there is no one else there, literally, in my mind, around me. I am there 100% with the patient in front of me. I am there 100% with the students who are learning from me. But I also show humility. I also show certain level of restraint. As I said earlier, I do not own a piece of knowledge that comes out of my mouth or that is in my head. I own none of it. When I die, it doesn't die with me unless I haven't transmitted it. So none of that information is mine. Someone else will discover it if I haven't transmitted it. It may take a generation or 2 or 3, but that knowledge is not mine. It comes from the world around me, and it was transmitted through the teachers that I have come in contact with. While we honor our lineage and the teachers who have come before us, we must also honor the fact that it is constantly evolving within ourselves, evolving as we transmit knowledge to the next generation. This is allowing gratitude to live in action. rather than through some type of obligation. I show my gratitude by delivering information to my students while still honoring my teachers. That act of transmission is honor, not obligation. One more thing, or two, who knows, about honoring tradition. So the tradition that is passed on. Respect does not mean stagnation, to use the language of us acupuncturists. It is not stagnation. We need to be able to honor tradition without the dogma. We need to be able to carry forward the principles of healing rather than the rigid forms. Again, society evolves. We, as teachers, also need to evolve. We still transmit messages. We still transmit healing arts in a way that serves the people around us, the people in front of us. We should not make things about, well, this is the way I was taught, so this is the way that it has to be done. In some instances, that is important. In many instances, that rigidity is what leads to more stagnation. The respect that comes from both directions. All the information that we receive can be changed in how it is being delivered. So as we move forward, the connection that we have to teaching, and for myself now, instructor training, is based on what I see the next generation doing. How I can carry the information forward, deliver it to the next generation based on not what I need, but what they need. Because I don't make the decision about what the next person needs. I guide them. I guide them along the journey that they are traveling, helping them to fill in blanks. So every instructor, every teacher is looking to complete this for the students in front of them. Hopefully, when I'm doing the instructor training, I believe it is my responsibility to help ensure that I have that environment, number one, that is safe and also as high quality as I can possibly make it. And also honors the lineage. It contains a little element of history, where we have come from, and also how this information they are receiving can be applied. How can they change movements for each population that they're working with? How can we ensure they're not delivering a message at the wrong time? Meaning, hey, let's work on this jump spin technique that every beginner who just started today should be able to do. Makes no sense. So as we deliver the information, we are remembering those who come before us. I mean, even in my instructor training program, there's an entire segment about lineage, my lineage. So those who may criticize what I am doing do not even understand the messages that I'm delivering because you're not privy to them. If you wish to know, you can inquire. So I suggest you do that before you step forward and provide any type of judgment, if in fact you are. I hope that you are not, because I respect you. So teaching Tai Chi and Qigong, teaching acupuncture, but specifically Tai Chi and Qigong, as a form of medicine requires a certain level of maturity. Teaching acupuncture, herbal medicine, oriental medicine, whatever you wish to call it, requires not only a certain level of experience, but also, once again, professional maturity. Honoring our teachers is a way that honors ourselves as well as the generations to come. Teachers honor teachers. They should also honor students and recognize that we are helping to prepare the next instructor, the future instructor who may be here before us, in front of our eyes. That is what I believe the role of My Metro Medicine is a bridging between tradition and modern healthcare. The My in My Metro Medicine has nothing to do with me. Think about that. When you read the name, it's for you. So, to close out this episode, remember the teachers that you have had in your life. I'm sure you can name a number of them and remember their faces, remember their messages, maybe remember even some of their grueling teaching techniques. I know many students in acupuncture remember quizzes, exams, homework assignments that have put you through not just the motions, but maybe created a little bit of suffering along the way. Hopefully it was not too much suffering, because I know all of you made it. So as we go through those motions, remember that that is for you. You are building a foundation that I believe should be solid, that is integral for your growth as a practitioner, as an instructor of Tai Chi and Qigong. So, in this season, honor your teachers, honor your students. Show that the relationship that comes between teacher and student is through the message of a teacher opens the door and the student is the one who walks through it. Remember that last part. You do not walk through that door with your student. They walk through the door that you open for them, and they walk away from you as an act of respect. As we move through the holidays, this season of reflection invites us to remember those who guided us, sometimes closely, sometimes quietly, sometimes from a distance. Honoring our teachers doesn't mean remaining unchanged. It means that we carry forward what was given to us with care, with discernment, and with integrity. At My Metro Medicine, this principle shapes how I practice, how I teach, and how I serve the communities that I work with. I thank you for taking this time to reflect with me on the My Metro Medicine podcast, and may this season offer you moments of gratitude, clarity, and renewed commitment to the medicine and healing arts that you carry forward. I'm Dr. J. This is the My Metro Medicine podcast. Happy holidays to each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next episode. At My Metro Medicine, our programs are designed for practitioners, instructors, and healthcare professionals who want to deepen their understanding of movement as medicine and carry these arts forward with integrity. As we look ahead to our 2026 trainings, including an instructor program, instructor development, advanced study, integrative programs of all kinds, I invite you to explore opportunities to grow, refine, and step more fully into your role as a healer and teacher. You can learn more about upcoming programs and interest meetings at mymetromedicine.com. I thank you once again for listening to the My Metro Medicine podcast. I'm Dr. J. Until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep the medicine moving forward.